Welcome back to Cheddar News, everyone. JetBlue looking ahead to cleaner skies with a new partnership centered on sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF. The airline announcing an initiative with World Energy and World Fuel Services for SAF at Los Angeles International Airport. And joining me now is Sara Bogdan, Head of Sustainability and Environmental Social Governance, or ESG, at JetBlue. Sara, so good to have you on the show. We talk about sustainability a lot here. And it's my understanding that your company is aiming to be net zero carbon emissions by 2040. How is this going to get you to that goal?
Great. Well, thank you so much for inviting us to speak. So today we announced that we expanded use of sustainable aviation fuel across our operation. So as you said, as of last week, we have been regularly flying on sustainable aviation fuel out of LAX with our new partner, World Energy, facilitated by our long-term partner, World Fuel Services, which allows us to reduce emissions by up to 80% per gallon of sustainable aviation fuel before it's blended. And we see this being a critical lever in driving us toward our net zero target.
Now, does this change your flight schedule, your flight routes at all, Sara?
Absolutely not. So if you were to look at a gallon of conventional jet fuel and one of sustainable aviation fuel, you couldn't tell the difference. It is chemically identical to conventional jet fuel, no changes in safety or performance. It drops right into existing aircraft and infrastructure, which is really important. So absolutely no changes to our flight schedule, except the reduction in emissions.
Mm-hmm. Now, why LAX in particular? Is there a reason that you're working out of the airport versus elsewhere?
Los Angeles is one of our focus cities, and so we are targeting where our biggest sources of fuel is. So that is absolutely one of the reasons. Another reason is if you actually look across airports where sustainable aviation fuel is available today, the vast majority of it is in California, and that's actually due to really good policy incentives that exist. And so we're excited by the prospect of expanding to other states as more policy programs are available.
Now, I know you mentioned the chemical makeup of the fuel isn't any different. It's the same thing. But does the price that you pay for that fuel differ?
It does. So today it does come at a premium. But as we drive toward net zero, we see a future where it is at price parity with conventional jet, meaning no cost to us. And as more fuel providers come online, delivering sustainable aviation fuel, we think we'll continue to bring that down. Mm-hmm. So today we're at about 2 times the price in California, but we've set a target for 10% of our fuel use to be from sustainable aviation fuel by 2030, and we are very much hoping it will be at the same price or less than conventional jet fuel.
Now, do you anticipate demand will change at all? Do you find that customers want to fly with you because of this commitment?
We hope so. This isn't new. We've been hearing from our customers, whether it's our corporate customers, individual customers, our shareholders, our own crew members, that they're concerned about climate change. And unfortunately, aviation is responsible for a piece of that today. So we all love to travel. We need to address this emissions problem. And we think this is critical for protecting the future of aviation.
Mm-hmm. For your stock price, I'm sure it might benefit some. Do you anticipate by committing to this that you'll be able to have your stock added to any indexes that would naturally come along with more stock buying?
That would be outside of my wheelhouse, but I sure hope so.
Okay, other commitments that your company is making in addition to this to achieve that net zero carbon emissions by 2040?
Yep, so sustainable aviation fuel is just one piece of it. When we think about how we're going to get to net zero, it involves chasing down every opportunity that we have. So one of them is around introducing and investing in new fuel-efficient aircraft. So we've committed to do that, bringing in a host of brand new state-of-the-art aircraft. In addition, optimizing our how we fly. That has a significant impact on the emissions. The SAF piece, I mentioned the 10% commitment by 2030. Supporting industry-changing tech, stuff like electric and hydrogen aviation. We are committed to supporting those industries, and through our subsidiary JetBlue Tech Ventures, we've actually invested in 2 of such companies. And then the final commitment is offsetting all remaining emissions. That hasn't gone away. As of last July, we have achieved domestic carbon neutrality by offsetting all of our remaining and unavoidable emissions through high quality carbon offsets.
Now, when it comes to flight routes, I'm just curious. I know you are the head of sustainability and ESG at JetBlue, but I think there's so many questions that travelers, potential travelers have, especially now as this economy starts to reopen more. Is your company planning to add more routes? Do they see more demand in the pipeline?
Again, I wouldn't be the total expert on that, but I mean, connected to my work, we have noticed this theme of, in the last year, our customers seeking out big, beautiful, wide open natural spaces. And so through that, we are opening up a service and new routes to places like national parks, beautiful ocean destinations. And so we're seeing that there's absolute demand, and we are offering that service to our customers who are looking for it.
Getting outside. There's something that seems sustainable and ESG friendly about that as well, Sara. So when you map out the plan ahead, we see record high temperatures. Death Valley, I think, surpassing 130 degrees just over the weekend. On Saturday was pretty close to that on Friday as well. And, clearly climate change is happening. I don't think anyone could really deny that. These days, when you look at these weather patterns and the extreme heat or droughts or wildfires that we see on a daily basis, how does that impact what you're doing at JetBlue? Does it cause flights to be rerouted? Kind of what's the daily intake of this sort of climate change news that you're consuming, and how does it impact the company?
You're absolutely right. Severe weather disruptions impact our operation, can possibly delay flights, cost money to the business. And so we see that link, and that's the reason that we are acting so aggressively. For a long time, we've taken the mantra of admit that we emit, but then solve for it. And so we see the direct impact on our operation, and the best we think we can do now is do everything we can to reduce our impact.
All right, Sara Bogdan, head of sustainability and ESG at JetBlue. Sara, thank you.